What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Matt Pete Marketing Podcast. Today is a special day. It is going to be a solo episode. I was talking to my wife about this yesterday, that the podcasts that I really listen to regularly are actually solo podcasts. And I know I said this at the beginning of the podcast that I want to do more solo episodes, and I haven't been because I've had so many great guests on, but I also realized lately that I don't want to step away from that. I do want to do more solo episodes because I love just putting in a podcast episode and hearing that one person talk about one specific thing for a few minutes, taking away the actionable tip and applying it in my business. So I'm going to be doing a few more of those here in the near future. So let me know if you like them. If you don't like them, send me an email to themattpeet@gmail.com. That's THEMATTPEET@gmail.com. Let me know if you like the solo episodes, or if you're like, Matt, you're so full of yourself. Stop talking to nobody and have a guest on. Let me know. I want to know how you feel. But anyways, today's topic is why you should be building your audience on multiple platforms. And this one is really fresh for me because the example I'm going to give you is one I'm currently going through, and one I realize that I have the systems in place to still communicate with you guys, even with the issues I'm having. So today is a Tuesday as I record this. Exactly 1 week ago today, I shared something in my marketing Facebook group. It's called Marketing Really Matters. If you want to join over there and talk marketing, feel free to. It's a free group. But I shared a link to something I was creating. It's a quiz that I was creating on my website, and I was really excited about it. And the first person that clicked on it, Caitlin Pyatt, she's been on the podcast before, she sent a screenshot and said, hey, this is what that link is taking me to. And she sent the screenshot in the comments, and it is redirecting my website to some sort of spam post. It said, you're the 5 billionth Google search winner or something like that. Clearly spam. So I just kind of joked. I was like, yeah, definitely don't click on that because that's not what I was trying to share, LOL. And I was grateful that she let me know about the issue. But I was like, at that point, it's like, this is not good, because I've had website issues before. We've talked about building your own website on this podcast. And if you don't have experience with it, why it's better to have somebody else do it for you. I definitely still stand by that, and kind of wish at this point that I had done that, because now I'm having to deal with all of the website issues that I'm having. So what happened next, I contacted my hosting provider, Bluehost, and I hate to say they haven't been great on the technical support side of things. The first girl I talked to ran a malware scan, or the first guy ran a malware scan. He said that could take a few hours, so call us back in 3 to 4 hours. And this is like midnight. So I was like, okay, I'll call him back the next day. Called him back. The girl checked on the malware. At first, she's like, well, I'm not seeing any malware on your site. I think you're fine. And I was like, well, the guy last night said he was running a scan. She's like, oh, he ran a scan. Let me check that. And then she pulled up. She goes, oh, yeah, you have a lot of malware. And like, first of all, you weren't even going to check. You were just going to tell me, no, I'm fine. But then she's like, hold on 1 second. And then I got an email from Bluehost saying they deactivated my account. And I was like, hold on, did you just deactivate my account? She's like, yeah, it's standard protocol. When you get malware, we deactivate so it doesn't spread. I was like, okay. I mean, I guess I get that. I don't want people to be redirected to malware either. So then she hung up on me. That was super fun. She said she was transferring me and hung up. Long story made short, I've been on technical support calls every day with Bluehost since last Tuesday. Just yesterday, I finally started to get towards resolving the issue, so I can actually have a website back up. And now this is for my entire hosting platform. So all of my websites down, my wife's website's down, everything, mattpete.com is down, which really sucks, because that's how I grow my email list. That's how, I put up blog posts. I put up these podcast episodes. It's a huge bummer, especially by the time I get it back up, I'm going to have to go in and batch upload all of the podcast episodes that came out while it was down. But finally starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. We're starting to get the malware removed. It's just going to cost me about $600 to get it done. But that is why, that one example is why you should have your audience built on multiple platforms. Because if the only place that I could communicate was through me posting a blog, and then my website got taken down because of malware, I have no way of communicating. if my only way of communicating is through a Facebook page, and Facebook stops you from posting or stops you from doing live videos or stops you from running ads or whatever it is you're doing there, which has happened to multiple people. I know a guy who was doing Facebook Lives daily, and Facebook, for no reason, blocked him from going live. So he had to figure out a new way to go live and link that to Facebook and work around that problem. So if you have multiple ways to communicate with your audience, for one, I have this podcast. It still goes out. I can communicate with everybody through the podcast and let you know, hey, my website's down. Don't go to mattpeet.com because it's going to give you a 502 bad gateway error. If I have my email list, I can communicate with everybody on there. And I would say go here to join the email list, but you can't because the website's down. I have my Facebook page and my Facebook group that I can communicate with everybody on, and doing things like I was just now on a Facebook Live with a guy named Blake. Super awesome Facebook Live. If you want to find out how the story about like me getting in touch with John Lee Dumas and how I did that and how you can do that with different influencers you want to get in touch with, go check that out. It's actually on, I shared it on the Matt Peet Marketing Facebook page and in that group. But that's why you should build your audience in multiple places. And I know you're going to hear from a lot of influencers, and I myself was of this mindset until this instance, that as a solopreneur, small entrepreneur, you should focus on the one thing, like doing this one thing very well. If you're going to do podcasting, do it very well, and everything else can kind of fall by the wayside. But because of this, I realize now, like, it's important to at least put some effort into building your audience in other places, repurposing that content so you can build that audience. So when one of the platforms goes down, you can still communicate with people on the other platforms and let them know, hey, I'm not gone. I'm not deleting everything. I didn't just decide to up and quit. I'm still here. I'm just having technical problems. Stick with me. And you can still communicate with those people and provide value for your audience. So that's my lesson today. Don't wait until you are in the middle of a website hack or being locked out of Facebook or whatever it is to realize, how am I going to communicate with everybody that follows me? I mean, Facebook tomorrow could, for whatever reason they want, delete my entire page and I lose the likes and the interactions and all that kind of stuff, and I have no way of communicating with my people on Facebook. It could totally happen. So build that audience in multiple different places so that way you can communicate, add value as much as you can, repurpose content, because this podcast, you're listening to it on iTunes, you're listening to it on Spotify, maybe you're watching the video on YouTube, but you're going to see it or you're going to hear it and take in the information on that platform. But then somebody who doesn't listen to podcasts might not have heard it unless I emailed it to them from my email list or sent it to them on Facebook or post it on Instagram. Those people who see it on those platforms will now get a chance to learn from my mistakes, my issues, my technical problems, and not have to worry about it as much. And if you are going through a technical problem like this, go to SiteLock. They have a service you can buy that removes malware and puts up a firewall, which prevents you from getting hacked again. Just go ahead and share that bit of information that took me 6 days to learn about while Bluehost didn't help. So that's all I got for you today. I hope that this helped enlighten you on why you need to be building your audience in multiple places. Go ahead and get started with that. Have a great week. Keep working hard. Remember that marketing really matters.